I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life.
Did you talk to Steph about it?
He tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. And he also comes from a place of like, it's effing stupid. Like, it's not true. So why? And I'm like, but wait, like, listen to how it makes me feel. And he's like,
Brothers, what do y'all think about this whole Ayesha Curry situation, man? I made a video about her. This might have been a couple of years ago. And I knew she was slightly different then, man. I knew her, because there's nothing new with her talking the stuff she's talking, on these podcasts and stuff, man. It's nothing new. She's been doing it for years. And I saw this coming. A lot of people are saying they're leading toward divorce and all kind of stuff. And I don't know that to be a fact because I don't dive that deep in it. But I keep seeing these articles and portions of the podcast come up. And I really want to know what y'all thought about it. Because to be honest, man, you're seeing what's taking place in their relationship. You're seeing it in relationships all over the place. And to be honest, it's not nothing brand new, but I think it's something that maybe social media played a huge part in putting a magnifying glass on. You know what I'm saying? It's a syndrome. It's symptoms that you're seeing a lot of women go through. And when I say a syndrome, these symptoms are, these women are, some women are online talking about their husband is perfect. He does nothing wrong. He's the perfect man. He's the perfect father. XYZ, XYZ. But I still want to be out of this situation. You got some women saying, hey, you know what? I had kids. I didn't want to have kids. I'd rather much have had my career. So my situation is not as desirable as it seems. You know what I'm saying? And all other kind of things, man. And to be honest, I'll say this. In Ayesha Curry's situation, I will say this. In somewhat of her, I won't say defense, but I'll say this. Like, it's a real thing, man. It's a real thing for, hold on, get my screen right, man. It's a real thing for women to go through a certain thing. Like, a portion of me understands what she's saying, but the way she's doing it is completely wrong. Like, if you have a woman in your life, and again, whether you're a successful man or not, the brother passed me up. Whether you're a successful man or not, man, you have to ensure, like we're always talking about a woman being bored. You have to ensure that regardless of your situation, whether you're Steph Curry or whether you're just a regular Joe Schmo brother that's just a hardworking man, you have to always ensure, man, that your woman isn't bored. And in this particular situation, man, specifically speaking to her, I'm saying, like, certain women, man, like I'll just say like this. In your relationship, you always have to be pouring into your woman, into her hobbies, into her craft, into what she's passionate about. Because a woman just being a mother, but that's gonna end bad every single time. A very small percentage of women are just fine with being mothers without having something going on for themselves, man. So, and I'm not saying Steph was or wasn't doing that, but I get what she says. Hey, you know what? I wanted my life too, right? So I get a portion of that. Now, what I don't agree with is the way she's doing it, because not only is she embarrassing her husband, she's gonna make her kids feel some type of way. Imagine your mom getting online, man, and one day you hear her saying something like, I didn't want to have kids. But yeah, like I was saying, imagine your kids or your child. Well, in her case, she has 4 kids, I believe. Imagine your kids getting online in the next year, or when they're grown in the next 5-6 years, and see your mom on podcasts pretty much talking about regretting having them. And she didn't say those words, but her energy behind her comments were pretty much saying, hey, you know what? I didn't want this life. Like, I saw my life going a completely different way. Like that's a blow to the ego. You know what I'm saying? Not only is she disrespecting her husband online, but and again, it's not, and I saw people making a comment, it's not that she's having these thoughts, but that she's getting on the World Wide Web, putting this out, man. It's just not a good look. It's very disrespectful to the entire family. But again, it's a lot of women I'm seeing online, especially like when I'm on a TikTok. Man, I'm seeing this comment. I don't know if I triggered the algorithm, but I'm getting this kind of content every single day, man, where women are saying, hey, you know what? My life is perfect. My husband is perfect. My kids are healthy, but I can't stand this life.
I was waiting on my ex-husband to be a bad person. I was truly waiting on him to do something so fucked up to me, so bad, that it would justify me ending the marriage. I also said I was going to come out with a book on how to leave a good man. A lot of people that's never been in my situation won't be able to relate. And it's okay, because this message ain't for you. But again, I was waiting on my husband to be a bad person. I stayed with the same person for 21 years, created a family. I was in the relationship 21 years, married 17. And I was married to a good man. I was married to a good guy. But we weren't good together. And being in a relationship where you're just not fulfilled, where you're not happy, but you're with a person that you know is good, and you're hearing the rest of the world talk about how hard it is, how there aren't any good men in the world, it will make you stay longer than you need to. Your soul is yearning for more, right? But you're stuck. And that was me for a very long time. After my divorce, it's been 4 years now. After my divorce, it was bittersweet, whatever. I was excited to actually get back into the dating pool, to find someone that actually matched me better, and waited a few months to get back to dating. I was nowhere near healed, nowhere near knew who I was, what I wanted. I just knew that I didn't want to be alone because I didn't know how to be alone. I was used to being wifey. I was used to having my person. It's not hard to get a person. It's not hard. It's a lot of single people out there. I mean, I'm a pretty girl. And whatever. So let's see what's up. Let's go check out this dating pool. Everybody's talking about how horrible it is. I'm a pretty confident woman, so I wasn't sure. I wasn't like tripping. I knew that it wasn't going to be hard to find somebody that was, true and loyal and cool, whatever. But the thing is, baby, I was accepting bullshit because everybody kept talking about how hard it is to find a good man. So every guy that I felt like was a good man, I was trying to hold on to him. I was like, oh, this person's a good guy. Oh, this people not having the experiences I'm having. Ain't no pee in the dating pool for me, because I know who I am and what I want. And I was married for 20 years, and people look at me as more valuable because I ain't been out here in the streets. Okay, don't come for me, but this is just how I was thinking. It's been 4 years now. Okay, life has humbled my ass. I do not think that way anymore. 4 years of being divorced, I had experienced a narcissistic ass, arrogant ass, judgmental ass pastor. Okay, I gave him the time of the day because he was a pastor, and I thought, he was a good-hearted person. Girl, bye. So I went from a crazy narcissistic pastor to a guy who I felt like was so perfect for me, act like he liked me, but then act like he didn't. I mean, like, the nigga was running from me every chance he could get.
They're saying I can't stay in this life, man, and I'm telling you, it's a major thing going on. So what I want to talk about, man, for y'all brothers, is how to know if the woman you're bringing in your life is going to be suffering from this Ayesha Curry syndrome. You know what I mean? The first thing you have to understand, man, is the woman in your life, she has to be fulfilled. And when I say fulfilled, when you meet these women, man, and they have these alcohol problems, they have these issues where they have to be at the club every weekend, they want to be on a trip every 3 months, like they're always yearning for something, especially that bottle. These women aren't fulfilled in life. If you see these women, man, they're going from relationship to relationship to relationship. Like she has no ability to be single. That woman isn't fulfilled in her life. And the crazy thing is, you can have a woman that's locked into her career and it seems like she's solid and she's fulfilled, but man, a lot of these women, kind of like I'm always talking about, a lot of these women haven't found self yet. And I'm gonna tell you, you can get with these women, you can get married to them, you can have children. It's just gonna be a matter of time before it's not enough. It's just gonna be a matter of time before it's not enough, man. So your woman has to be fulfilled. And I'm gonna tell you this: one of the primary ways to tell is if she's, and I'll say the word needy. Like, you can tell when a woman has a needy energy, where she, where when y'all first start talking, she's craving that relationship, or she's just craving certain element. Like, she's not content with herself. You can tell when a woman is content with herself, man. And I'm gonna tell you, if she's not in energy, brother, it's just a matter of time. And it may take 6 months, it may take 6 years, it may take 20 years. But at some point, that woman is going to voice her opinion and say, you know what? Even though you're the perfect man, even though you've protected, you've provided, we have beautiful kids, it ain't what it is. This is not what I wanted, right? So the first thing is, she has to be fulfilled. The second thing is, like, the woman in your life, man, you have to make sure. And I'm trying to think how I want to say this, man. Like, you want the woman in your life to have had a real one, to have dated somebody that's of your caliber. You know what I'm saying? And no man wants to imagine his wife or his girl with another man. But you want her to understand. I'll say it like this: you want her to have experienced both dynamics. You want her to have an experience with a good man, so that she understands what it is to have a good man. At the same time, and I'm not saying this is a good thing, but you want your woman to have experienced some kind of heartbreak, or not necessarily heartbreak, or have some kind of experience of a guy that's on the other end of the spectrum. And the reason I say that is because a lot of these women, mainly like Ayesha, she's been with Steph since, I believe, right out of high school. So she's never had the opportunity as an adult woman to get with a man that's just dogging her out, that's just doing her wrong. So when a lot of these women have a good man for 5, 10, 15 years, and they've never seen the other end of that, they're craving to get back in these streets, thinking like that's the gold mine. But and a lot of that is because they haven't experienced the other end of it. They haven't experienced a man ghosting them. And I'm sure Ayesha hasn't experienced any of that. She's a beautiful woman by society standard. Whether a lot of people say she looks like, they say all these names and all this kind of stuff, but by society standards, she's a beautiful woman. So odds are she's never really experienced heartbreak, or never experienced a lot of guys just doing her wrong. So she sees Steph as the all-American guy, and she's saying, "No, you know what? This ain't what it is. This ain't what it is." But she has to have experienced a solid guy in her life, or she has to have experienced some turbulence in her life. But the thing about that, because at the same time, that's a double-edged sword, because a lot of times a woman can come at you and say, hey, you know what, every guy I've dated has been like this. Every guy I've dated has dogged me out. Every guy I've dated has cheated on me. Now that's a different thing, because when a woman is saying that, then what she's really speaking to is her trauma. A lot of these women that are suffering from Ayesha Curry syndrome, man, they have a good guy. They got married, but previous to that good guy they married, every single guy that they talked to was a dog, or every single guy they talked to was a narcissist, like they say, man. And a lot of times you got to understand that these women, they have no desire for a good man. Like, if he's not throwing elbows, if he's not talking crazy to her, like, it's just a matter of time, man, before she goes back to her truth. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to know what y'all think about this whole Ayesha Curry, situation, man, because, like I said, I called this some years ago. I knew it was just a matter of time before it's going to get worse. and it's there, man. It's out of control. She's completely disrespecting the entire family at this point, man.